If you've been thinking about selling on Amazon, then you're in luck. This is a great time to begin, and this video is everything that you're going to need to teach you exactly how to start. I've put together this complete guide to selling on Amazon just for those of you here on ProfitGuru, and it's really going to help to jumpstart your learning and your business ventures. Selling on Amazon is a little complex in the beginning to learn all of the processes, but have no fear. In this video, I'm going to take you guys through A to Z, everything that you're going to need to know to get started today. And make sure you stick around until the end, because after I explain everything you're going to need to start, I'm also going to give you an exact checklist of all the supplies that you'll need to begin. And finally, I'll end the video by giving you the most common mistakes that I see sellers make so that you can avoid them altogether. I create videos just like this every single week to help you guys run and scale your Amazon business. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Our goal here on ProfitGuru is to learn as much as we can about selling and growing our own Amazon businesses so we can take that knowledge and in turn, give it to you guys. So if you're ready, without further ado, here we go. Your complete guide to learning everything you need to know to start selling on Amazon. Let's first discuss why Amazon should be your platform of choice. Now, when it comes to overall net sales, the only US retailer more powerful than Amazon is Walmart. However, if we're just looking at e-commerce sales, then Amazon is definitely number one. To give you an idea of just how many people are shopping on Amazon, in the US alone, there are over 150 million registered Amazon Prime members. And in the third quarter of 2022, over 75% of US consumers made a purchase on Amazon. In overall revenue, Amazon is able to generate over $500 billion annually. Those numbers are just massive. On a daily basis alone, Amazon revenue is up to 1.3 million. If you think about it this way, Amazon is literally bringing in hundreds of thousands each minute, and you are able to get a piece of this pie. Globally, there are over 2 million third-party Amazon sellers, and over half of the units that sell on Amazon are by third-party sellers. What I mean by third-party sellers are people just like you and I. Anyone is able to jump onto this massive platform and start getting a chunk of that revenue Amazon is able to bring in. Their website receives over 3 billion monthly views. So to have a platform where you're not going to have to be running any advertisement to get people to come here, they're just coming on their own each month by the billions. That is massive. There is going to be so many eyes on your products and so many potential buyers to buy your products. And every year since the pandemic has started and people have been forced to purchase things from home, these numbers just keep getting larger and larger year after year. So I hope you can see why now is the perfect time to start your Amazon business. Amazon is by far the best platform to be selling on, but they have a lot of rules. So next, it's important that you must familiarize yourself with all of the different rules and expectations Amazon has for their sellers. Amazon measures how good of a seller you are by looking at your account health. And when you're breaking the rules, your account health goes down. And once your account health gets so low, Amazon will deactivate you completely. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is familiarize yourself with exactly what Amazon expects from you as a seller. But they do make it easy for you because all of the answers to any question you might have is in one place, and it's located in the Seller University. From your Amazon Seller Central dashboard, you're going to want to come to the hamburger here. Then from Learn, click on Seller University. This is where you'll be able to find the answer to anything you're looking for. You can simply type a question here into the search bar, or you can look through the topics of the common questions that Amazon receives. For example, if you want to learn a little more about how to list your products, you'll just click here, and these YouTube videos pop right up for you to watch and learn from. You'll even be able to find timestamps underneath the videos, so if there's something specific you're looking for, you'll know exactly where to find it. Even though there's a lot of learning that you're going to have to do in the beginning, the Seller University is going to be the best place to go and find the answers to your questions. Next, let's talk a little bit about your mindset. When it comes to selling on Amazon, it's true that the stars are the limit. Your input and what you put into this business is going to determine the output and how much you get out. So if you just want to start out small and make this a little side hobby, you can totally do that. But if you're looking at turning this into your full-time job, know that it is going to take a lot from you. You're going to have to put in a lot to the business in order to get a lot out. If you're willing to do the product research, put in the time, put in the work, then this truly can turn into your full-time stream of income. But I won't lie to you and say that it can be done overnight, and I won't lie to you and say that it's easy. It will take a lot of time and a lot of effort, but it's definitely worth it. Let's talk about exactly how it works. So when you're selling on Amazon, it's different from all of the other platforms you've probably sold on. For example, if you go to eBay and you type in a product, you're going to see all of the listings pop up of that product. But that's not how it works on Amazon. Let's take this detangler for example. If I type in this exact detangler on Amazon, I'm not going to see every single listing of every single seller. Instead, the one listing will pop up and all of the sellers will have to be on this one shared listing. And products on Amazon aren't associated with the barcode that you see from the store. Instead, Amazon has something called an ASIN. And because there can be multiple sellers on one listing, there's something called a buy box. And this is how Amazon is going to determine when a customer makes a purchase for that product, which of the sellers that's on it will actually get the sale and the profit. Every product on Amazon has its own unique ASIN. And ASIN stands for Amazon Standard Identification Number. ASINs are Amazon's unique way to be able to organize and know everything that's in the Amazon catalog. And if you're looking for the ASIN number of any product, all you'll need to do is go to the listing and then scroll down to the product information. So for this Ninja product, the ASIN that Amazon is going to use to associate with it and recognize it is going to be right here. It's important to know what the ASIN is for each product because this is what you're going to be plugging in when you start doing the research and trying to find the data on the product. Now that you understand how the ASIN and the buy box works, let's next discuss the two different ways that you can sell products on Amazon. You have the option to choose between FBA, which means fulfilled by Amazon, or FBM, which means fulfilled by merchant. A lot of sellers like to go with the FBA model. This means that what they're doing is once they have their products, they're not just going to leave them at their house or their warehouse. They're going to instead package them up and send them off to the Amazon warehouses. FBA is the model that I personally love because Amazon is going to free your hands and give you more time. Your products will go to the Amazon warehouses where they will store them for you. They're also going to, every time a customer orders your product, pick it off of the shelf, package it up, and send it off to the customer. So you don't have to worry about sending out products quickly as they're ordered. They will also take care of all of the customer service for you if you're using the FBA model. So if there are any issues and a customer wants to initiate a refund or a return, they're going to handle that through Amazon and they're not going to be contacting you directly. But you certainly don't get all of these advantages of FBA for free. So if you choose this model, your fees for selling will be higher. Now, fulfilled by merchant, FBM, is completely opposite. If you are not sending your products off to the warehouse, then you yourself as the merchant are fulfilling them every time an order is placed. So now you have to be the warehouse. You're going to hold on to all of your products, and whenever a customer orders one from you, you're going to have to pick it up yourself, put it in its shipping box, and ship it out to the customer unit by unit every time you make a sale. Plus, if there are any issues and a customer maybe has a concern or they want a refund, they're going to come to you directly and you're going to have to message and talk to the customers. So you can see how choosing FBA is going to be a lot less of a hassle for you than FBM. But with FBM, the fees will be less. Now that you understand the difference between FBA and FBM, let's talk about the three main selling models on Amazon. The first one is called Arbitrage. And this is definitely the most common for new sellers so that they can just come in and get familiar with selling on Amazon. Now, what arbitrage is, it's a fine art of reselling. So you're going to take products that already exist on the shelves. Maybe they're from Target or Walmart, or maybe you're finding them at gas stations, but they're already for sale. And what you notice is that there's a difference between marketplaces. So that detangler I showed you, maybe I can get that for $5 on Walmart.com, but I noticed that on Amazon, it's selling for $15. And that's generally the rule of thumb. You're going to want the products that you're buying off shelves to be 3 times higher on Amazon, because after all of the different fees and your cost of goods, if it's not at least 3 times higher on Amazon, there's typically not a profit to be made. But arbitrage is a lot of fun and it's very easy for new sellers. Find products at Walmart that you see sell for higher on Amazon, buy them from Walmart, relist them on Amazon, send them off to the warehouse, and you're going to pocket on the price difference every time somebody purchases. It's important to note, however, that you can't just sell whatever you want on Amazon, especially as a new seller. You're going to have a lot of categories and a lot of brands be gated. Now, what this means, think of it as a literal gate. If the gate is closed, you can't go past it. If you are gated in a category, you cannot sell in it. So what you have to do is find the products that you are ungated in and Amazon does allow you to sell. For example, grocery and gourmet foods, anything in that category, new sellers are not permitted to sell. They will be gated. However, arts and crafts and office supplies, those are usually ungated and new sellers can sell those items. So what you'll want to do is find the areas that you're ungated and start there. Once you start selling those items and proving to Amazon that you're a good seller, over time, you're going to notice that more and more categories and brands will open up for you and allow you to sell them. It's also important to note here that even though you might be ungated in a category, that does not mean that you can sell every brand in that category. For example, you might be ungated in the category of health and beauty, but within that category, there are going to be thousands of brands. So even though Amazon might say that you can sell in health and beauty, the brand Burt's Bees will be gated for you. You won't be able to sell it. So this can be really frustrating for new sellers. So the very first thing you'll want to do when you open up your account is download the Amazon Seller app onto your phone. This is one of the easiest ways to find out where you're gated and ungated. Go around your house, go around stores. You're going to use that app to take pictures or manually type in as many products that you can think of. And then it's going to pop right up on the screen and let you know if it's restricted or unrestricted for you as a seller. Next, let's talk about how you can find these arbitrage products. If you want to go into the stores and use your app to start scanning products, that's called retail arbitrage. However, if you're not really into going into stores for hours and scanning all of the products on the shelves, then you might want to do it online. Browse products online, and that's called online arbitrage. Let me show you exactly how I use some online software to find some good arbitrage products. ProfitGuru is really my one-stop shop when it comes to product research, no matter which selling model I'm interested in. If I'm trying to research and find some really good arbitrage products, where I'm going to want to go is right here to the Products tab. From the advanced filters, I can really make this specific for exactly what I'm interested in finding. Because you'll be gated in a lot of categories and brands, especially in the beginning when you're a new seller, you can come here to categories and only select the ones that you are ungated in and able to sell. Arts, crafts, and sewing is going to be a common one that a lot of new sellers are able to sell. If you knew a specific brand of products that you know are great products and a lot of people are going to want to buy, you can type this right here into the brand box. You can also choose right here if you want Amazon themselves to be on the listing. Because what happens a lot of the times is Amazon likes to win the sales. So where you need that buy box to be rotating onto you in order to get the sale and win and make the money off of it, if Amazon's on the listing, they don't always share very well. So some arbitrage sellers choose to not compete against Amazon, and they only want to find products that Amazon themselves are not on that listing and selling the products. For the sales rank, we're going to cover this in more depth a little further into the video. But once you have an idea of what ranks you want your products to be in, you can set those here. For example, to be a strong rank, I might not want to exceed 120,000, depending on which category I'm looking in. For monthly sales, because we're trying to find products that already exist, we want to make sure that they're selling really well. So I might only want to look at purchasing products to resell that are getting monthly sales of at least 75. Number of sellers is going to be important to want to filter a little bit it because like we talked about with the buy box, you're going to have to share your sales. And the more sellers that are on the listing and are competitive, that's more people that you have to compete with for the sales. So I might not want to jump onto a listing if it has more than 20 sellers. You're also going to want to set the minimum here to be around 3 sellers because there's some brands that they don't want other people to be jumping on and selling their products. And in order to avoid those listings and not get in trouble with those brands, you're going to want to make sure that there's not just 1 or 2 sellers on the listing. Generally, if there are 3 competitors, then it's usually a safe listing and a product that you shouldn't get in trouble for selling. You'll definitely want to think about filtering the price as well when you're reselling arbitrage products. And that's because Amazon does have quite a few fees that are associated with selling on their platform, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But in order to make sure that there's still profit left over to put into your pocket, I usually like to set this filter around $15 at the minimum. I also set the maximum around $150. And that's because the customer is able to have their A to Z guarantee refund or return. So if they don't like the product, Amazon will give them their money back. But it's not Amazon giving them their money back. If you sold them the product, you're going to have to take that out of your pocket. So I don't like to sell products that are too expensive because then I run the risk of having to refund that customer, and that can get really expensive quickly. You're definitely going to want to filter weight because when it comes to selling on Amazon, the bigger the product, typically the larger the fee is going to be. And if you're doing the FBA model where you're sending the products to the Amazon warehouse, the lighter the better because it's going to cost you less in shipping. So I don't like to see my products exceed maybe 3 to 5 pounds. Once you start getting heavier than that, your shipping is really going to go up and your fees for selling on Amazon will go up as well. To make sure that you're selling products that have good ratings and good reviews that customers are saying they like, you could also filter those, and that's going to help you to avoid products that the customers are not liking or maybe issuing a lot of refunds on. LQS here stands for Listing Quality Score, and there's a lot of factors that go into this. The main ones are going to be the photographs on the listing, the title, the bullet points, the description. All of those things play a key role in the listing quality score. And because anybody is able to create a new listing on Amazon, some of the listings might not be very good. And listings that are confusing and not clear to the customers, maybe the description is bad, the title is inaccurate, the photographs are blurry, those are probably not going to get as many sales as a listing that is done well. This is going to go from a range up to 10. So I might say I don't want to jump on a listing unless it has at least a 6 for a score. Anything lower than that is not a very good listing score. The other thing that I definitely always filter out right here is hazmat. Hazmat items are things that Amazon says are dangerous goods. Some examples are essential oils, hairspray, anything flammable or aerosol, really anything that the contents could be a risk of some sort. And in order to even sell these hazmat products, you have to go through a training through Amazon University. So you're going to want to filter this and say, no, you do not want to see products that are in the hazmat category. Now we'll hit search and we'll see tons of potential ideas that we can go and purchase right off of the shelves and relist and sell on Amazon for a profit. ProfitGuru makes it really easy to determine if a product is good for reselling on Amazon. Everything that you'll need to know will come up right here in the columns. And you can also filter these. So by clicking this gear, now I can see all of the different options for the data, and I can choose and select which ones are most important for me that I do and don't want to see. Now at a very quick glance, I can see the price that it's listed for on Amazon, what the fees are going to be that Amazon is going to want to take from me. I can check out the sales rank, which is going to be important in knowing if the product's actually a good selling product that's flying off the shelves fast or not. The estimated sales for the current 7-day average and 30-day average, the number of sellers, the listing quality score, and I can see here, this is not sold on Amazon, so that's perfect for me. Once you understand the ropes of how to sell arbitrage products, something that you can do to really increase your profits is by bundling items. This means you're taking products that already exist, but they complement each other and you're putting them together together and creating a new listing for the customer. For example, if I'm selling a water gun from Target, I might want to bundle that with some water balloons. If the data showed me that customers who bought water guns are also buying water balloons, then this is going to increase the value to the customer. And by putting these products together, it's going to reduce the fees for me that I have to pay to Amazon. And how I'm able to find these bundling ideas to come up with is by coming right here to bundle ideas. If I'm already selling a product and I'm thinking that there's probably some good items that could go with it, but I'm not quite sure what, I could put the ASIN for that product right here, and ProfitGuru is going to generate some ideas of what I should bundle it with. And you'll notice that it's going to give you ideas in 3. That's not to say that you have to bundle these specific 3 things together. You might want to add a 4th item, or you might want to take something out and only put 2 together. But overall, you'll be able to see all of the data on each individual product, an opportunity score that goes up to 5, and this score is calculated based on how well these products are pointing at each other. So if the data on Amazon shows that product A and product B are bought together, and product B and product C are bought together, and product C and product A are bought together, they're all pointing at each other then, and the score will be higher. Right here, I can see if I sold these 3 things separately, the fees Amazon would want from me would be $15.46. However, by putting them all together in one bundle as one product to the customer, now I am really saving myself some money. The fees drop all the way down to $8.90, and that is a savings in my pocket of $6.56. So once you get really good at finding arbitrage products that are selling well on Amazon and you're making money off of them, consider next coming here to bundle ideas and forming bundles and creating new listings. Not only will you increase your profits, but you're also going to decrease competition. The next selling model is called Wholesale. With Wholesale, you are partnering directly with brands and with brand distributors to buy these products for a cheaper price and resell them on Amazon. Now, because you're cutting out all of the middleman and you're typically ordering in large quantities, that's how you get these products for a cheaper price. For example, let's look at the brand Dove. If I was selling a lot of Dove products, I would find a Dove distributor, or I would reach out to Dove directly to see if they would open up a wholesale account with me. Because typically what happens is Dove is manufacturing their products, they're shipping them out to Walmart, Walmart's putting them on their shelves, you're going to Walmart and buying it from them and then reselling it. That's what arbitrage looks like. But with Wholesale, we get to cut Walmart out of the picture, so they're not getting a piece of the pie. The products are going right from the manufacturer or the distributor to you. So the middlemen are gone, and that is increased profits for you. However, getting into wholesale does take a little bit of work. You're going to want to establish an LLC. Working with brands, they're going to want to see that you are an actual business, and they're going to want to see some documentation to prove it. So that's why a lot of sellers typically like to jump in by doing arbitrage, but then once they understand how things work and they can get their business credentials, they usually move into wholesale. And with wholesale, I don't have to search for hundreds of different brands. I find some brands that I really like and sell them consistently the same products month after month. But it still does take some research to figure out which brands to work with and which brands have products that are selling well on Amazon. So let me show you how I do that. I'm able to find brands that are selling really well on Amazon and reach out to them to set up wholesale accounts with. And to do that, I come right here to the Brands tab. Let me show you how I set up my filters here to find these good brands. Come to Advanced Filter. The first place you're going to want to go and filter is the number of products. You're going to want to choose brands that have a large volume of products that are selling well on Amazon. So I might set my minimum to be at least 100 products. For average number of sellers per listing, this is similar to arbitrage. I want to make sure that I'm only seeing brands that are okay with other sellers selling their products. So listings that only have 1 or 2 sellers on them, there's a really high chance that those brands do not want other sellers selling their products. So I might set the minimum average to be 2.5 sellers. For monthly sales, I want to make sure that these products are actually selling well. I might say I want to see a minimum of 50 sales a month. For percentage of listings with Amazon.com as a seller, I like this to be low. I don't want my wholesale products to have Amazon as a competitor on them as well. Because as I mentioned earlier, Amazon can be really hard to compete with. They don't really like to share that buy box well. So I usually set this to a maximum of 1, and that's really going to make sure that Amazon is not selling these brands. For my average product price, I do this a little different than I do with my arbitrage products. Amazon has something called the Small and Light program, and if your product is under £3 and under a listing price of $10, you can enroll these products into the Small and Light program, and what Amazon will do for you is significantly decrease the fees you have to pay them. And that's typically what my wholesale products are. They're products that are way less than £1 and they're under $10. Because not all sellers know about the Small and Light program. So by taking advantage of this program, I can see that there's actually profit in a product because the fees are less. Whereas another seller who is not enrolling in the Small and Light program, their fees are going to be higher and they might think the product is not profitable. So because I use that Small and Light program, I don't have a minimum here. However, with the weight, I still want these items to be small because I am using the FBA model and I am shipping them to the Amazon warehouse. So it's best for me if these products are under £3. Next, I hit search, and now I can start looking through these different brands and reaching out to them to establish my wholesale accounts. All of my columns and any necessary information that I want to know is going to be right here and very easy for me to view. And one of the first things that I really look at when I'm researching a brand is to make sure that the brand themselves is not also a seller. For example, this brand, 32 Degrees, if I come over here and look at the column that says sellers, I can see that the brand themselves is selling their products on Amazon. So because they're selling their own products, one of two things are going to happen. Number one, they're either going to get the buy box a lot more, or number two, they might not want to work with me anyways. Why would they want to sell to me to jump on the listing and compete with them? It just doesn't make sense. So I avoid brands if they are also the seller on Amazon of that brand. But you can see the number of products that the brand is carrying on Amazon, the average number of sellers per listing. Make sure that this is above 2 or 3. This brand only has an average of 1.1 FBA sellers per listing. Amazon.com themselves is a seller less than 1% of the time, so that's good. And the monthly sales is also high. So all of this data looks good other than the fact that the brand themselves is selling. So I would move on and keep looking. But if I scroll down all the way to the bottom, with the filters that I set, there are over 1,200 brands that I can now start looking through, seeing the data Amazon is giving me on them, and then reaching out to them and see if they will open up a wholesale account for me. Using this strategy, I'm able to find tons of really good brands that sell well on Amazon. And then all I need to do is keep reordering the same products from the brand month after month after month. The last selling model is called private labeling. Now this one definitely involves the most amount of money up front and the most amount of risk. What you're doing with private labeling is you're thinking of a product that already exists, but that shows that there's room for improvement. So you're going to somehow improve on this product and then find a manufacturer to produce the product. You'll also want to establish your own brand because once the manufacturer produces the product, then you would put your own brand name on it. Now, because this product is yours now, you don't have to share the listing with other sellers. However, you do have to create a new listing. So even though private labeling is going to take a lot more research and time, you won't have all of the competition on that one listing. However, you will still have competition in the niche as a whole. For example, maybe I want to private label a blender. Maybe I myself have a blender and I notice that there's some functions on it that I don't like and that I see could be improved. I would find a manufacturer, we would work together to get these improvements done, and then I would also need my trademark done so that I can put my own brand on my product. So now this specific blender is mine. I'm going to create my own listing, but if somebody searches blender into Amazon, there might be 2,000 different brands of blenders that pop up. So you'll definitely not want to choose a product that already has a brand dominating that or that has too much competition in that niche. Private labeling is going to take a lot of research to do it the right way. And if you're really a creative person and a really creative thinker, you can also think of products that don't even exist yet at all and create those with a manufacturer and bring those to the marketplace. So as you can see, private labeling is completely different from wholesale and arbitrage. You're not just taking brands and products that exist. You are creating your own products and bringing them to the marketplace. So typically this model involves the most money down. And because you're really putting all of your eggs into one basket it has the most room for risk. But if you're interested in starting to see how you can find products that show there's room for improvement, let me show you how. To find some product ideas that are showing potential for me to private label, from the ProfitGuru dashboard, I'll come right over to the Products tab. But you're going to want to set your filters a little different from what you did when you were researching for arbitrage products. I still want to make sure that these are products that are selling well, so my monthly sales will be a minimum of 100. You'll still want to filter in a relatively strong sales rank, depending on which category you're really interested in. Similar to arbitrage, there's going to be a lot of fees here, even more so than there was with arbitrage, because not only do I have all of these Amazon fees, there's also going to be a lot more steps in the process of private labeling, and I'm going to have to take all of these numbers into account. For example, the shipping, especially if I'm getting my products overseas, I'll want to take that into account with my product price. I'm going to need my own branded packaging. I'm going to have to run some PPC ad campaigns to really get eyes on my product. So all of these things you're going to want to consider into the overall price, because if your selling price is too low and then you have all of these different fees still, you might not be profitable. So for a private labeled product, I might say that I don't want to see products that are going for any less than $25. It's still important not to be too large, so I still will set my weight to be pretty small, but you can play around with this. For the product rating, I'm not going to want to find products that already have 5 stars. I want to find products that show that there is room for improvement. That's what private labeling is all about. If something's already working well and the brand is already known to customers, why would they purchase mine instead? So I want to instead find products that don't have a big brand name dominating that market, and there's room to really improve this product. So I might say I don't want the rating to be above a 3. Same goes for the reviews and the listing quality score. I want to find products that show that I can come into this niche and improve the product, and people will want to buy it from me. So for the reviews, I might not want to see products that have more than 300 reviews, because if they have much more than that, then this brand is already dominating the niche. If product A is very similar to my product, but product A has 500 reviews on it and my product has no reviews, the customer is clearly going to want to buy it from the person that has all the reviews. So don't try to compete with those brands and those products that are already showing they're good products. For listing quality score, we want to have room to jump in, create a new listing, and have it be better than the competition. So if we're finding products where the listings are already really good, maybe they're an 8 or a 9 or a 10, then there's not a lot of room for us to come in and be competitive. So instead, I might set this to a 7. I don't want to see products that are any higher than a 7. I want these to have bad listings because I want to show that, okay, their pictures aren't good. The product description, the title, they're not very good, and I can do it and make it better. So set these lower so that there's room for you to come in and make it better. Hazmat, I'm still not going to want to mess around with that. And now, based on those filters, I have some ideas here that Amazon is saying they meet my criteria, and I can see if this is something that I can really jump into, manufacture it myself, and bring that product to the market. Now, if you're a creative person, something else you can do with private labeling is bring something completely new to the market. So if you're really good at looking around at products and thinking about ideas of what do customers need? What do they need to solve a specific problem? That's another way you can do private labeling. You don't necessarily have to take something that exists and revamp it and re-improve it somehow. You can also bring something completely new to the marketplace that doesn't even exist yet. So those are your 2 options for private labeling. Take something that does exist but shows room for improvement, or think of something completely new that solves the customer's problems and bring that to the market. Now that you understand your options when it comes to the 3 different selling models on Amazon, let's talk about more things you can do to find your products. The first important thing that you're going to need to understand is the BSR, and this is known as the best sellers rank. Every single product on Amazon is going to have a BSR attached to it. Let me show you what I mean. To find the bestseller rank for any product on Amazon, all you need to do is go onto the listing and scroll down to the product details. Now, right here, I can see the bestsellers rank. And what you're going to notice is that there's typically more than one number here, but the first rank is what's going to be most important. This product is in the category grocery and gourmet food. Now within that category, underneath it, there's going to be several sub-ranks. And that's what this one is here. This is just a sub-ranking underneath that main category. But when determining if a product has a strong bestseller rank or not, you're going to want to look at the root category, which in this case is going to be grocery and gourmet food. This product has a rank of 1,752. So how do we know exactly if this is a strong rank or not? And for that, I like to use a cheat sheet. Because each category has a different amount of total products in that category, what's a good rank will change from one category to the next. For example, you can see right here, appliances has a total of 1,165,849 products, which isn't a lot compared to arts, crafts, and sewing. This category has 12,581,681 products. So because there's so many more products in arts, crafts, and sewing, a rank of 62,908 would mean that that product is moving super fast. It's in the top 0.5% for that category. So anything with a rank up to the top 1% in its category is going to be a good arbitrage product. But for appliances, to be in the top 1%, I wouldn't want to exceed 11,658 for its bestseller rank. So it's nice to have a little cheat sheet like this so you can quickly see what's a good rank within each different category. And you can download this exact sheet completely for free right down in the description. Just click on my Gumroad and you can have it. Sometimes you might look at a product and it might not have a rank. And there can be a number of reasons for this. Sometimes Amazon goes in and they just reset it for no reason. Or that product might have been recategorized. So it might have started in this category and it moved over to this category. In that case, it won't have a rank. And if the product is a completely new product to the marketplace, then it won't have a rank yet. But otherwise, the products should have a rank, and you should definitely be looking at this, especially when you're looking at arbitrage and wholesale products. You don't want your products to just be sitting there. That's money tied up. So always be choosing products that have really strong ranks because that means that they're selling well. Next, what I'm going to want to do is based on this bestseller's rank, I need to figure out what's the estimated number of sales this product is getting each month on Amazon. And to do this, what I want to do is stay right here in the product details and copy the ASIN. Now on my ProfitGuru dashboard, I'm going to come right here to the sales estimator. Paste that ASIN right to the top and click search product. This specific product is an Amazon branded product, so I can see here there's only one seller on it, and that's Amazon. But based on the bestseller's rank, this is getting an estimated number of sales of 3,120 per month. Olay is a great brand to sell on Amazon. It's a well-known brand. People are buying a lot of it, and this is going to have a lot of different sellers on the listing. So let's scroll down and get the ASIN for this product. I can see in the root category of beauty and personal care, it has a rank of 3,702. And for this category, that's a really good rank. So I'm going to get the ASIN and paste it right into my ProfitGuru Amazon Sales Estimator. Now I can see there's a total of 24 sellers. 13 of those sellers are FBA sellers. And that's important to know because the buy box that rotates between sellers, that is typically more advantaged to the FBA sellers. So those are going to be your high competition. Based on its best sellers rank, I can see that this gets estimated sales of 3,869. And that is very high. But what we need to do now is divide that between the 13 FBA sellers who are going to be competing for the buy box. And that works out to be just under 300 sales per seller. Now that's if the buy box is rotating very evenly between the sellers. So if you can find this for a low enough price to just buy it maybe from Walgreens or Walmart, and it's showing that there's still a profit to be made after all of the fees to Amazon, this might be a great product to jump on. The rank is strong. It's getting a high volume of estimated sales. The competition isn't too bad considering that we are getting so many sales on this. But what I really like to do is come down here and look at the historical data. Now this is going to tell me across time what's happening with this product. So currently we can see we have 24 sellers, but back here in March, there was 20 sellers. So it's not fluctuating too bad. Right here in May, we have 11 sellers. So it's good to see what does the competition typically look like, not just at this point in time, but across time. how many sellers are usually on this listing. And then up here, we can see what the typical price is, which is really important to know. Now let's look back here. On March 3rd, the lowest FBA price was $24.98. And I can see based on this, the historical data, that that's not usually what this product goes for. That's called a spiked buy box. It's just really spiked and elevated right now. Because after this date, now it does not go that high. Across time, this is only going for around $16. So you don't want to jump on a product that just has a spiked buy box because the price is not going to stay at that. So you might think that this product is profitable, but in reality, it's just the price is raised way up right now and it's going to come back down. So you always want to check what the historical data across time looks at and what you can typically expect to sell this for. You're not going to typically expect to sell it for this price. The data proves that this is only going for around $16 average across time. So I love checking my historical data on ProfitGuru. Next, I want to share with you one of the best strategies, the most effective strategies that I use for finding my products. And that's called storefront stalking. Storefront stalking is the top strategy that I use to find tons of arbitrage products. And to do this, I come right over to the Sellers tab. This right here alone is probably my favorite feature of all that ProfitGuru has. And no other Amazon software has the capabilities to do this. Now for my filters, I want to find other sellers that are arbitrage sellers like me. And arbitrage sellers sell a lot of different products and a lot of different brands. So for my products, I'm going to set this to a minimum of 100. And for my brands, I'll set it to a minimum of 30. Now this is going to help and try to eliminate those private labeled sellers and those wholesale sellers so that it's really focusing on finding me other arbitrage sellers who I can just look at their products and piggyback off of what they're doing. I also like to set my country and filter that to only see other sellers in the USA. And something cool that's a little side note is you can even put in a filter for your state and your city so that you can find other people around you that are also Amazon sellers. This is also really helpful when you're trying to find someone in particular. For example, if I'm watching YouTube and I'm finding a seller that has a lot of knowledge and I think that they probably have a really good Amazon store and I want to check out their products, if I can figure out which state and city they live in, I can filter that, and typically then I can look through and find their Amazon store and see all of their products. I spend hours on here a week just storefront stalking other sellers because typically sellers are selling products that are profitable. Otherwise, they wouldn't be selling them. Nobody likes to sell products to lose money. I can click on any of these columns and filter them high to low or low to high. So for example, this would be a perfect example here of an arbitrage seller. I know they're an arbitrage seller because they have 100 different products and they're selling 57 different brands. So chances are Dana, who lives in Kansas, she might have some products that she found arbitrage, maybe on Walmart or Target, that she found that made a profit. And now all I need to do is check the data. If the numbers work out, I can start selling those products too. Her seller ID number's right here, and I can just click on her name. I like to also see the feedback because I don't want to jump on products and compete with other sellers that aren't performing well. So this is pretty good, 60 ratings and 94% positive. That tells me that this seller, generally speaking, she knows what she's doing. Now I come here and view on Amazon. To see all of the products that she's selling, we're just going to scroll down, and right here where it says products, we'll click See All Products. Now I have 160 different products that I know are arbitrage products, and I can just figure out where to buy them from for a good price and start selling them. We have a good variety here. There's candy, there's beauty products, some vitamins. So this is definitely an arbitrage seller. Next, what I would want to do is keep in mind what the sale price is and then do a quick search on Google to see what's the lowest price I can find this for and buy it from a store. And it looks like here I can pick up the product for $8.08. This is also 2 floral ounces, just like the other one was, so I know it's probably the same product. But before I just pull the trigger, I'm going to do some other things. I would click onto the listing and make sure that the listing and the product that I found that I can buy are an exact match. Then from there, I would run the numbers into my sales estimator on ProfitGuru. Then I would want to run it through ProfitGuru's profit calculator to make sure after all of the different fees that I am going to get profit back in my pocket. So I'm just going to click to go into the Amazon listing. And what I would first do is make sure that the product that I found that I can buy is an exact match to the listing on Amazon. So we have Zarbee's Natural Baby Cough Syrup and Mucus, and it's 2 floral ounces, which are all of the exact same things that Amazon listing says. Now let's scroll down and grab the ASIN. We'll click on FBA Calculator and paste that ASIN here. So now I'll be able to run the numbers to see if there's any profit to be made. The cost price for me to get it from that store is $8.08. Shipping to Amazon, this is a really light product. So I could fit a lot of them in a box. So it'll only be around maybe 20 cents per unit to ship. The sell price is what the buy box is currently at. And now we'll hit calculate. Now keep in mind, this is just an estimation. So it's not always exact, but it's going to be a good estimate. The fees that Amazon will want for using their platform is going to be about $4.42. The fulfillment fee to send it to the warehouse and have them pick it off the shelf once a customer wants it and ship it to them will be about $3.72. That means that after I factor in the cost that I paid for that medicine, there's going to be a net profit to go in my pocket of $13.07. So this is a great product. I can just buy them from that store, list them in my Amazon inventory, and send them off to the warehouse. Every time somebody buys one when I'm holding the buy box, I will get $13.07 in net profit. That's an ROI of 161.8% and a net margin of 44.3%. So that is an awesome product. So now what I would do is come back to that same seller and keep looking through her products. We were able to find a profitable product on the first seller we storefront stocked and the very first product we pulled up in her inventory. So chances are, if that product was easy for us to get and it was profitable, that she probably has a ton of other products here that we can do the same exact thing with. Run the Google search, see where we can find it for the cheapest, bring that ASIN to the FBA calculator and see if there's profit. This sellers tab literally is endless potential. I can just keep going from one storefront to the next and finding the products they're selling, see where I can get it, and piggyback off of what they're doing. This is by far one of my favorite ways to find arbitrage products to sell. Now it's time to discuss how to open up your account. There are a few things that you're going to have gathered and ready in order to do so. The first thing that you'll have to have is your business email. Which email are you going to be using and associating with your Amazon account? You'll next have to have a valid credit card to put on file. Amazon will then need a phone number as well as your tax information. Be sure to also have a bank statement ready. Whichever bank account you're going to use to have your money sent into, Amazon is going to need to see transactions on that so that they can verify that this is a valid and legitimate bank account that's associated to you. You might also need a utility bill. They don't always ask for this, but sometimes if they want to verify your address, then they might say to provide the utility bill. Finally, you will definitely need your government identification. And after you go through the process of creating your account, which I'll show you how to do in a minute, you're going to actually set up an interview with somebody at Amazon. And a lot of people get kind of nervous and sketched out for this part, but Amazon is doing it so that they can safeguard you and safeguard all of your personal information. You'll have to get onto a Zoom meeting with somebody so that they can physically see your face. And what you're going to do is hold your ID right up beside you so that they can look at it, see you, see your ID, and know that you are who you say you are. Then on the call, they will also confirm if all of your documentation has been accepted, and if it hasn't, they'll tell you what else you need to do to get approved. So all in all, the call maybe takes about 5 minutes, but you will have to schedule and complete one in order to get your account approved. Once you have everything that you need, you're going to want to come to sell.amazon.com. And the first thing you'll have to do is pick which selling plan you want. There's an individual and a professional. For the individual plan, they're not going to charge you a monthly fee. However, they're going to charge you a fee of 99 cents for every item that you sell. So if you're already planning on selling at least 40 items, then you might as well go with the professional plan. That's going to cost you $39.99 per month. But as you can see here, there are a lot more features that you will have access to with a professional plan. You'll have advanced selling tools. You can sell in a lot larger variety of categories. You can run advertisement on items. And if you're planning on creating your own listings, you're going to have a lot more options when it comes to A+ content and making those listings look really nice. So we definitely recommend that you just go with a professional plan. And also keep in mind, whichever plan you choose, you're not locked into. You can change your mind at any time. But when you're trying to figure out if a product is actually profitable, you'll always want to run its ASIN through an FBA calculator like ProfitGuru's, because there are also a lot of other fees for selling on Amazon. For example, we have a referral fee. For every item that you sell, the referral fee is between 8% to 15%, depending on which category that product is in. And this is Amazon's cut of your sale just for using their platform. But we've already gone over that this is the platform to use because millions of people are already just coming here to buy products. So it's definitely worth paying them a fee per sale because they have this such established platform to begin with that we can use. Now, if you're using the FBA model where you're sending the products to the Amazon warehouses for them to store it there, you're going to have storage fee per cubic foot that you're using of the warehouse. And then you'll also have a fulfillment fee on top of that, and that's for the workers in the warehouse to take your product off the shelf, package it up, and send it to the customer. And then there's also some additional costs that you might run into along the way. For example, there's something called a long-term storage fee. If your products are just sitting in the warehouse for longer than a year, they're going to start charging you even more to house that product there. That's one reason why it's important to make sure that your items have a really good BSR, bestsellers rank, so that you know these are fast-selling items. Because if they're sitting there for longer than that year, you'll pay the regular storage fee plus a long-term storage fee on top of it. Some other fees you might run into are a removal fee. If for some reason you have something at the warehouse and you no longer can sell it, you will have to pay for it to be removed. They can dispose it for you, they can donate it for you, or they can send it back to you, but it will cost a fee. Let's look at the FBA fulfillment fee a little closer. So this is to give you an idea of what the fees will be on products that are non-apparel. And as you can see, the smaller the tier and the smaller the dimensions and weight, the less you will pay for a fee. And the fee actually goes up a little bit when you're in Q4, which is the busy season around the holidays in October, November, and December. And now here we can see the storage fees a little closer. So for a standard size product, you're going to pay 75 cents per cubic foot. But in the busy season of Q4, when the warehouses are the most busy, that will significantly increase to $2.40 per cubic foot. So as you can see, there's a lot of different fees for selling on the platform, and that's why you'll always want to use a profit calculator to make sure there's profit left in your pocket after the fees. So now that you have everything you need to open up your account, you have an idea of what the cost will look like and the fees will look like, the only thing left to do now is to sign up. And the process is really straightforward. It does not take long to do. You'll just want to click right here, and then the process is super easy. It only takes between 5 to 10 minutes to sign up. But if you want to see a video of me walking you through the exact process step by step, I'm going to link that above right now for you to check out after you watch this video. Now let's talk about creating a listing. If you're doing arbitrage or wholesale, you're probably not going to ever have to create a listing unless, of course, you're choosing to bundle products together and then come up with a new listing. However, if you're doing private labeling, you will definitely need to know all of the elements of a good listing because you'll have to create new ones with your new products. Let's look at the main components that you're going to have to create when you're making your own listing. Let's take a look at this tortilla blanket. The main part of the listing is going to be up here, and this is the title. This is going to take keyword research to make sure that you're including a ton of keywords in the title that is being searched when a consumer is looking for the product on Amazon. So the main keyword here is burritos, tortillas, blanket. Another main keyword that they found was giant, funny, realistic food throw blanket. The third main keyword that they're using here is novelty, soft flannel taco blanket. So you can see how they found their main keywords that consumers are typing into Amazon when they're looking for this product, and they're putting that in the title. Next, we have our photographs. And the first image on a listing should be the actual product that they're getting with a white background. Next, after that, the rest of the photos, which you should have around 5 good high quality photos, they should be an advertisement for the product to speak to the customer as to why they need it or why it's going to solve their problem. So this photo is doing a great job because it's showing the size of the product. I can see that a mother and what appears to be her daughter are cuddling underneath it, and they have plenty of room. Their next image is a close-up of the material so that the consumer can see that it is a luxury flannel fabric, so they know they're getting a good quality for the fabric. Then here's a little fun advertisement, I'm a burrito, and they're showing just how realistic this blanket looks and how you can wrap yourself in it and look like a burrito. This photograph is doing a great job as being an advertisement to show that it looks cool in your room. It can go on your bed, your sofa, you can use it for traveling, you can use it for your pet or in an office. And the last photograph is saying that this is a really cool gift to entice people to want to give this as a gift to somebody. Now, something else you can do when you have a professional account is you can add videos to your listings. And videos are really great for increasing your sales conversions. Now, this specific product, I can see it has different variations. And next we can see our details and our bullet points. Now, when you're writing your bullet points, you're going to want to, again, show the customer why they need this, how it's solving their problem, how it's meeting their needs. And you're going to want to repeat those keywords that you were using in your title that you found that consumers are searching when they're trying to find this product. Each bullet point should have a main heading. This one is professional design, and then more details about that. This heading is size and material, and then we can see more details about that. Here's a selling point. It's a cool gift, and then they explain. Then we have care instructions, and then they talk about how they have satisfactory service. So these bullet points should answer every question that your customer might have about the product and try to sell them as to why they need this product. If I scroll down a little further, now I can see the brand's A+ content. So this is a private labeled product, a private brand. And what they have done is received a trademark and registered it on Amazon. So they've obtained what we call brand registry. And once you have that, you're able to add in all of these different pictures like this and all of these headings to really showcase your brand and who you are. So if you're serious about private labeling and starting a brand on Amazon, you'll want to consider getting a trademark and getting brand registry. But if you don't have brand registry, you still will put in a product description. It just won't be fun and with pictures like this. You will have to type in all of the different points that you want to make about the product in this description area. And finally, on a listing, you'll have all of your product information. This is where you'll put all of those small specifics about the product. Its weight, its dimensions, ingredients, if that's relevant, material, color, all of those different things. But it's important when you're making a new listing that you do a lot of research beforehand. Research and figure out the main keywords you want to use. If you're not capable of taking high quality photographs or making a video like this, then you're going to want to hire that out. Somewhere great you can go is right on Fiverr.com. But consumers buy with their eyes, so you're going to want to make sure that your listing is of high quality. And then think like a buyer. Think of all the potential questions that a buyer might have about your product and make sure that your bullet points answer those questions. The more time and effort that you put into creating your listing, the higher your conversions of sales will be. Now it's time for the complete list of the supplies that you're going to need today to get started. The first 3 basic ones is going to be your laptop, your smartphone, and your printer. Now for your printer, it's definitely more beneficial for you to invest in a thermal printer because ink is expensive. So if you choose a thermal printer, you're not going to have to worry about purchasing ink. So of course, you'll need your laptop to do all of your software and your online arbitrage, as well as uploading your shipments into your seller account. Your cell phone is going to be beneficial for you if you're doing especially retail arbitrage because you'll want that Amazon seller app so you can scan products when you're in the store. And your thermal printer is going to be valuable for you because you're going to need to print off FN SKUs to cover up the barcodes on the products. So with that, you're also going to need labels. Now, if I just sent this product into Amazon with the barcode on it, how would Amazon know that this product is my product? Instead, what you have to do is when you upload your inventory, you will be assigned an FN SKU, which is a different set of numbers and letters. Now you're going to take that FN SKU, print it off on a little sticker, and put that over the original barcode. That identifies that product to you, so Amazon knows it's your inventory. You're also going to need a scale, because when you create your shipments, you're going to have to put the weight of your boxes, and they cannot exceed 50 pounds. You'll also need to measure the length, the width, and the height of your boxes, so you're going to want a tape measure. And it's important to note that you can't exceed 25 inches on any side unless the product itself exceeds 25 inches. So along with your boxes to put your inventory into, you're going to want some box fillers, like those air packs, in case there's extra space in your box so that you can keep your product safe. You'll definitely need packaging tape to close up all of your boxes, and the packaging tape will also be in handy when you need bubble wrap. Anything that's fragile, anything that can break, you're going to want to put in bubble wrap first to keep it safe, because it's going to have to go from you to the warehouse to the customer. So there's a lot of movement your products are going to be going through. Always think about the drop test. If you can stand up and drop the product on the floor, if it can be damaged, you'll definitely want to put bubble wrap on that. Next, you're going to need some poly bags, and these can be clear or they could be white. The color, the design, that doesn't matter, but what you do need to have on your poly bags, as one of Amazon's rules, is a suffocation warning. So if your poly bags that you order, which I just get mine right on Amazon, if they don't already have that suffocation warning, then you're going to want to purchase stickers that have that suffocation warning, and you'll have to put them on your bags. You'll also want poly bags because sometimes you might jump onto a listing if you're doing arbitrage, and it might be for a set. For example, there might be a small bottle of hand lotion, and the listing is for 3 of those small bottles. What you'll want to do is put all 3 into the poly bag, seal it up, put your FN SKU on the outside of the bag, and then put a sticker on the outside of the bag that says, "This is a set, do not separate." That's how the workers in the Amazon warehouse will know that these go together and not to open your poly bag. And the last thing you might want for a supply is a sticker that says fragile. Anything that you might be worried, maybe if it's in a poly bag and it's fragile, put a sticker right on the outside to alert the workers in the warehouse that this product should be handled with care. And then, of course, if you're choosing fulfilled by merchant and you're sending your packages out, you'll need smaller different envelopes and different size boxes to put the products into. But all in all, those supplies right there should be enough to get you started today. Now, once you do have your products and you've found what you want to sell, you will need to upload those products into your Amazon seller account. Let me show you the easiest way that I found to do this. Inventory Lab is definitely the easiest way for you to upload all of your products into your Amazon seller account, create your shipment plan, and then print your label to send the products to the Amazon warehouse. It is very efficient and they make it really, really easy. I also really like Inventory Lab because of all of the spreadsheets and data it gives me. It will keep track of all of your inventory, all of your ASINs, keep account of how many you've been selling, and show you exactly what your losses and your gains are. I definitely recommend this to everybody as the easiest, most efficient way for them to upload their inventory. And right down in the description, I'm going to include a video that I made of me doing this exact process. So if you're interested in seeing exactly how to create a shipment, prep it, and send it off, right down in the description, watch that video. I really hope this video has been super helpful for you. And now we've come time to the end where I want to thank you for sticking around and hanging out with me. And now I want to give you the most common mistakes that sellers make so that you can avoid them. The first most common mistake is not knowing those rules. I've discussed with you how critical Amazon is of their sellers and how they expect you to follow all of their rules. So if you don't know their rules and you're getting in trouble with Amazon time after time, then your account health is going to be bad. And like I said earlier, if your account health becomes bad and you're not improving it or doing anything to correct these actions, your account will be terminated. So make sure that you're familiarizing yourself with all of the rules. The next mistake I see people make is with their stock management. Now, if you're doing private label, you're probably going to buy a huge stock of those items. But if you're doing arbitrage and wholesale, you're going to have to keep a better account of how much stock you're going to need to order each month. Why would you want to purchase 200 of a unit if it only sells 20 units per month? So really understanding how to find how many sales a month each unit is making and knowing how to keep your stock manageable and in a good position will benefit you. Amazon also tends to give the buy box more often to sellers that aren't running out of stock on their products. So keep a good eye on all of your stock and manage them well. The third mistake that I see, and I see this a lot and I'm guilty of it, is not matching a listing exactly. And this happens a lot when you're doing arbitrage. Let's take, for example, a bottle of shampoo. The shampoo might be the exact brand that I found at Walmart, and then I found that exact listing for that brand, but you need to look at all the small little pieces. Maybe the shampoo that I found at Walmart is 20 floral ounces, but the listing on Amazon is for 24 floral ounces. So all of those little details on the listing that you want to jump onto, you need to make sure that those match the product that you're buying exactly. Because if they don't and they go to a customer and that customer gets upset, they're probably going to issue a refund or a return or contact Amazon, and that does not look good on your account health. So make sure those listings you jump onto are an exact match of the product that you have. Another common mistake that can happen is luring people off of Amazon. That is a big no-no to Amazon. You cannot try to get your customers from Amazon to go from point A to point B. For example, if you're private labeling, you probably have your products across different marketplaces. You might have them on Amazon, on Shopify, on eBay. If you do anything in your listing or in your packaging, maybe put a little card that tells your customer, hey, check out all my other stuff on my Shopify. You can't do that. Amazon wants their customers to stay on Amazon. So you can't try to lure them off and go elsewhere. The next common mistake that I see is not taking into account all of the fees. As I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of fees to selling on Amazon. We have our referral fee, our storage fee, our FBA fees, plus several other more that you might encounter. So not understanding all of the associated fees and then not running the numbers through your profit calculator can really make it so that a product you thought was profitable actually isn't. And the last mistake that I see sellers do is going too deep and not wide. For example, I sell in almost every single category and I have so many different brands. So if something happens to a listing that I'm on, some reason it gets deactivated or shut down, that's okay, I'm fine. I probably only had 10 units or so of that product and I have all of these other listings now to fall back on. However, if you sink all of your eggs into one basket, things can go wrong. Listings do get deactivated and shut down. So if you went really deep into one product and ordered 200 units of it, and now this product can't be sold on Amazon, you just tied up so much money into those products. So I always suggest doing test buys, especially when you're doing arbitrage and wholesale, and not just going too deep. Instead, try and go wide. Try and have your products all over the place. It's one of the best strategies to do when you're selling on Amazon. And there you have it, your complete guide, A through Z, all of the essentials that you're going to need to know right in the beginning to get going on Amazon. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you were able to learn a lot of new and valuable information from it. Again, I'm here with you guys each and every week to try and help you with your Amazon selling and to become more profitable day after day. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel because I'd love to have you here every single week with me. If you found value in this video, I would really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.